Dandadan is so out of pocket. So I'm still in my JJK review arc, so there will be, continuous videos from that, but I just had to jump onto the Dandadan train for a little bit because it's one of the only anime that I will be keeping up with week by week this season. And when I say this show is bizarre, I truly mean bizarre. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and smash that like button, subscribe, and turn on post notifications, and enjoy this breakdown of the first episode. It was supposed to be the first 2 episodes, but I covered so much of the first one in my script, I was just like, F it, I'm gonna give y'all the whole taste test and leave episode 2 for next week.
Subscribe to Pulsar.
We had to still come in and flip. Started off riding Batman with the geezers when that shit didn't work. Talk to pop about the chick. All of them talking my bad ass still ain't listen what's living, but taught me.
We start out with this scene of one of the main characters talking to her clown of a first boyfriend. This dude is a broke delinquent, a broke thug, a broke goon, a broke creep. He is the very embodiment of every possible negative that brokenness has to offer. Like, you know how we talk about Toji being broke? Toji's smooth dude broke. He has the positives of the broke nigga aura. This clown, this bozo, this goblin is the epitome of the negative emotions, the negative vibes, the negative energies. Everything that you think a broke dude is, it's even worse. Bro talking about some, I'll take you out if you're paying. But only like, if you're paying. I'll take you somewhere nice, like a love hotel. Like, come on now, you freaky ass boy. You are a naughty little boy, ain't ya? And using your alleged girlfriend's money to do it too? Bro out here with double hoop earrings and a jagged ass hairline with no depth or curls. Like, my dog, how do you get a buzz cut with mismatched front settings and eyebrows thicker than your sideburns? Gonna walk behind her while tugging on that weak ass belt buckle. Bro, that ain't even designer. Get it off my screen. I just know he's not packing anything, cause a dog like me would have made it jump and wave at her from underneath the pants while standing dead in front of her with my arms crossed like I'm all might or something. I don't need to walk in a circle around her like a praying hyena and whisper in her ear with no stank ass breath like he did. But anyways, she obviously is annoyed by him and drops her bag before immediately swinging on him with the nastiest of left roundhouse kicks. Had the blur on screen so crazy the freeze frame got him shook with his mouth wide open. I gotta deduct some freak points from his score though, because a real freak would have taken that moment to peep the gold mine that she was flashing underneath that skirt. We would have ate the hit. They probably white, maybe horizontal, powder blue and white stripe because she has the clean tomboy aesthetic. Why am I even thinking about this? Anyways, he manages to block right before she connects with his head, and when she tries to punch, he grabs her fist and booms her in the stomach with a mean kick, and she goes sprawling out on the ground. He gets to calling her trash and useless cause she's broke, then breaks up with her and wanders back into the school. She fires back calling him a squid and an octopus, and I'm not gonna lie y'all, that was lame as hell for real. On a side note, why is he hitting the Doflamingo ass walk back to the building? Like, bro, you're not him. Now we get a fast forward to her classroom, and let's pause for a second. Let's take a time out. Because how is there a whole fashionista friend and a Gyaruk nonconformist as her 2 main friends, bro? Either this whole thing happened during lunch or their teachers don't teach them shit, because the fashionista has the makeup all on the desk with the concealer, the lipstick that she's barely wearing, and then 10 other brushes and creams and 2 separate pouches in front of her while she holds the mirror the size of her face and puts on her fake lashes. Don't get me started on the other friend, cause usually they be looking fine, in anime at least, but she has that not at all in her bag. Girl had the unbuttoned top button, loose bow tie, bleached hair, telephone keychain earring combo with face paint galore, looking like a tiki mask from Hawaii or a voodoo mask from Princess and the Frog. Like, bro, ew! But they start roasting her because why was she even with that bum to begin with? And I'm not gonna lie, they were right. What did she even think? But she explains herself as she's mid-tears. He reminded her of Ren Takakura. Now keep that in mind. Like, remember that name because it gets wicked a bit later. So she makes her little declaration, and then we get a scene switch as she starts slinking through the hall with that same weak-ass walk as her delinquent ex-boyfriend. But I gotta give her the benefit of the doubt because she had that Doflamingo swagger walking from the front angle. She ends up seeing a boy getting bullied in his room and sits down with him while staring at the fodder level 1 classmates. And off rip, none of them wanted to smoke. Like, they put a magnet in the next paper ball with the intent to hurt bro and everything, but as soon as they saw her nonchalantly gazing at them before making little small talk with the weird kid in the back of the class, they switched up real quick, putting their stuff away and shutting the hell up. She then gets up and goes back to walking with her cool little gangster walk, and nerd boy pulls up on her at the stairwell. Bro's so nervous he's staring out the window at straight white light with glasses on. Bro gripping his glasses like an 8-year-old running into the kitchen to drink some juice after playing around outside. But y'all don't know nothing about that now, do you, youngins? That back in my day, when we used to play outside all the time, every day. Now y'all just sit on your computers. I mean, I do it too, but that's beside the point. She's annoyed, obviously, and he keeps chatting about how she must have talked to him because she's into aliens and stuff, but she was not picking up what he was putting down. She's letting him know that it was a one-off thing and she doesn't want to be his friend or anything. But Buddy keeps pushing her, showing her mad alien articles and explaining things that I could barely understand for real. Bro had the confidence to approach her, but still couldn't even look at her. Bro said he's not risking catching a case, got the full arm extend with the magazine, head facing directly behind him at a literally physically impossible angle, and a backward lean with it. Homie is playing zone coverage on this one, did not want to press at all. She flags him off and doubles down, saying she's still not going for it. Bro keeps spamming and begging for her approval, but she turns away from him and gets on her phone. Like, damn, bro's getting no love at all. He tries 2 more times running around her to show her the pages. She finally gets fed up and shouts at him, telling him she doesn't believe in that stuff and blah, 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 before we see something break inside of him and he's just absolutely depressed. He drops the magazine and she pauses for a second, starts feeling bad, and goes to pick up the book and give it back to him before telling him she doesn't believe in that stuff, but she does believe in ghosts and spirits because her grandma's a medium. And when I tell you this boy turned into a whole life jack-o'-lantern with this twisted smile, that would be an understatement. Bro's head starts bobbing with the giggles like apples in the water at the state fair. It straight looks like bro is rendering in real time because of how janky this animation is, and she gets hot at this boy, hitting a full sumo grappling pose mid-sentence. Bro obviously feels pressed, and then he has to explain how it's more reasonable to believe in aliens than ghosts. And I'm not gonna lie, he low-key had a point there. Her friends are on the staircase and see them going at it while chuckling to themselves. Then we get to the juicy part where she dares him to go to this haunted tunnel, and if he sees anything, then he has to be her gopher. And he says the same thing about her going to a building where aliens allegedly hang out. We then get a time skip to the night where they're both passing through the areas they dared each other to walk through with their phone flashlights on while on the phone talking shit to each other. And on a side note, look at this flashlight angle and illumination. When the phone has the full brightness torch mode on, this is what I'm expecting, but I never get it in real life. Meanwhile, I'm seeing the crispest illumination of all time in a 2D animated show. Life is literally so cheeks, bro. So she's searching through with a strong ass light and literally misses a whole humanoid figure standing alone amongst the broken debris. But okay, sure. We cut over to Lil Bro and he's shook standing in front of an abandoned tunnel with a warning sign that says stay the fuck away. I mean, I don't know that it said that, but you know, red kanji with a sign with war down areas around it usually should scream something like that at least, right? While they both walk around on the phone, the girl MC starts talking about this energy channeling thing that her grandma taught her and told her to do at school. And she used to have to do it on the way to school and from school. But when the boys started making fun of her, and more specifically the boys she liked, she began to stop doing it and complain to her grandma. But she admits that she loved her grandma very much, and I'll go ahead and show you this frame right here because we need to put a pause on it. I'll be the first one to say before seeing her face in any future episodes, I need to know if she needs a grandfather, because even on the walk home with no facial shot, grandma looks like she got motion, and I am definitely here for it. I need that. I desire that. They keep walking while she talks about how much she loved her grandma, and we get a shot of this absolute idiot of a high school boy flashing his flashlight at the side of the tunnel wall where it seems to me at least with my eyeballs, to be bloodied footprints walking on the wall. Bro just glosses over it with them big ass, bifocal ass, goggly glasses when it seemed like too much of a key clue to ignore. To me, at least. I don't know. Maybe you guys can tell me otherwise in the comments. Bro then looks at the ground in front of him and sees the footprints that lead past him and finally shows some level of concern. Bro looks behind him, but obviously nobody's there. So he goes to look back in front and puts the flashlight on an old lady who says the most diabolically freaky line I've ever heard in anime ever. Her eyes turned on like some light bulbs and they had to autofocus before she spoke too, smacking her 10,000-year-old lips mid-line talking about some, "I'll let you suckle my tits if you let me gobble your dong." And to be honest with y'all, bro had my same reaction. I would have been out of there. Freak out, running for him and all. But on second thought, when she started smacking them lips together and I heard that toothless know how to train your dragon, I might have paused for a second. Cause girls get rizzed up daily. But the bros, we gotta take our 2 compliments a year and protect them like a Charmander trying to keep its tail flame from going out in the rain so it doesn't die. A proposition like she suggested warrants a certain level of, consideration, shall we say. It's really a 2-for-1 special if I'm being honest. But on second thought, she looks like a old vacuum cleaner bag that is filled to the brim with dust, so any sucking that is done is probably would have ended up leading to heavy coughing and hacking and more of a sanding sensation than a meaty massage, if you catch my drift. But anyways, the girl hears him panicking and tells him not to run away. But he had already started putting on the beats. So she said, if you do start running away, do not get caught because she will put a curse on you. But as we know, most book reading weird kids at the back of the classroom tend to be the more unathletic types, so he wouldn't be able to outrun me, a 6'4", 210-pound gorgeous black king, much less an apparition that can run on literal walls. The distance to the exit stretches and it starts looking like a domain expansion because all we see is red as she starts putting on the burners. She starts running over the top of him and grips his Bambi built ass up. We then see the phone cut red on the other end as the girl panics trying to figure out what's going on. And then it's her turn. Yes, you guessed it. I thought the panels beside her were windows letting in moonlight, but they were actually light fixtures that had power in this abandoned building somehow. They all start cutting off one by one until there are none left, drawing her attention down to them. You know the 3 Musketeers? The 3 Stooges? Well, these were the 3 Gooners. She is understandably shook and says, "You know what? I'll go this way," and sprints back in the other direction. But then we get a 6-frame slideshow of them running down on Shorty and literally tearing her clothes off. Like, bro, y'all couldn't wait? You couldn't take her on a dinner date first, or ask her out, or give her an OF invite? You had to straight grips the bad cheeks, huh, bruv? Strong desire to retain the bunda by any means necessary, yeah? Then the last animated panel that fades out has bro in the back putting straight palm to face? Like, bro, have you no shame? Had me making that one little baby face in total disgust when I first saw this. Like, at least Ghost Grandma gave bro a deal worth considering before she ran down on him for the dong. Y'all said, bag find shit first, ask questions later, huh? Nasty, evil, deranged thugs, I tell ya. All 3 of them. Then we get a calm little time skip to her waking up on their spaceship in a chair where she's strapped down and they're getting ready to tell her their plan. She wants to know where her clothes are, obviously, because she's a minor in front of 3 alien grown men dressed up as Bank of America accountants. The one says, "Yes, we handled them nicely and placed them over there," while looking off to the side, and when the camera pans, bro, what the actual fuck are they cooking? Freak asses tore the clothes off and called it being handled carefully. Like, bro, are you actually slow? Advanced ass civilization with no concept of restraint? I would hate to see what they consider being rough. The freaky alien dudes then explain that their race is entirely made up of men that use cloning technology to continue their breed and race, but captured her to evolve their kind and utilize her banana organs. Then, last bro hits the meanest, and I do preface and stress this, meanest lean back and Meat showing of all time. Like, what kind of freaky posture is this? Bro, Meat so big he had to lean back to counterbalance the weight. Meat looking like a satellite pole, same size as the upper half of his body, and the same way she was sweating is the same way I did. Because what do you mean you're putting that thing inside of me? She starts to panic just like I would've. Then bro slaps his hand on her face to put her down, and they start using some sort of freaky jutsu to change her brainwaves and arouse her. We get a trippy view from her perspective of them as she continues to resist, and then the lead one that spoke first says something like, "Oh, you're resisting. You must have a strong will. But I'm gonna get to those cheeks anyways," and manually spreads her legs before we get this gruesome shot of him preparing to do the most disgusting thing I have ever, and I do mean ever, seen. Bro's meat capsule spreads and we see a spear tip at the end, and bro, I was clenching my banana organs just watching this. Good God almighty. Then just in time, her phone starts ringing and one of them goes to answer saying, "Somebody's trying to contact you at this most inopportune time." Like, bro, this is not mutual freaky time. This is the perfect time for somebody to call and interrupt. I don't want to see this. Then, just as he picks up the phone, a size 9 shoe with an overgrown foot gives him a high five to the face. The phone hits the ground, and then we see the boy and his ghost grandma possessed body spawn out of it in the most disturbing way possible, like it's a horror film. Then, while crawling backwards, the grandma slides under one alien and rips his dong clean off. Like, bro, do you know how uncomfortable the little boy must have been? Somebody else controls your body to eat alien meat when you don't want alien meat in your mouth? Rip that banana clean off and then sent bro flying into the wall. Lil dude reveals that it's him getting possessed again moments later just for the grandma to say, "Let me gobble all your dongs." Then one of the aliens protests while hitting another zesty lean before talking about how they don't like aggressive humans and rips his own suit off in order to attack bro with his true form. The attacks miss and grandma gets close before taking a mouthful of dong and pile driving him into the ground. And as Lil Bro and the grandma hybrid get ready to take on the last one, the final one clutches up and emits some sort of pulse from his hand to throw them into the wall. Bro then does as all MCs do and tries to talk no jutsu himself into a power-up of sorts and begins to explain how he doesn't care what the alien does to him, but he needs to let the girl go because she was the only person to notice him or stand up for him. He spoke about how as a kid, he used to always call out to the aliens, but they never heeded his summons. Then the girl tells him to kick the last one's ass, but the last alien wasn't having none of that. Bro said, "Nuh-uh," and fired off a second blast, which made bro rethink all his decisions, talking about some, "Sorry, I don't think I can save you after all." And she's sick, saying he didn't even try. The alien turns his attention to her again and attempts to arouse her once more, but actually ends up forcing up memories of her grandma channeling chi. She's apprehensive to the idea in her memories and yells at her grandma saying that she hated her before realizing that she didn't hate her grandma, but instead the people that made fun of her grandma for her teachings and profession. She then thinks about the chi release and manages to force it out of herself and breaks the bonds during a cool animation. The boy asks her why she didn't do it earlier as the alien tries to figure out what's going on, and she simply tells him she had no idea how to. Then she locks in and decides to put the beats on the last alien. She does the same weak kick from earlier on her ex-boyfriend, but uses that extra power that she just found out was within her to break the alien's wrist and really make things shake. The alien goes flying and sends the spaceship that was masquerading as the moon into a complete haywire state. She looks for the boy, but then sees him on the ceiling as the grandma had retaken over his body yet again and jumped down, took a bite into her arm. She frees him temporarily using her chi energy, and the grandma spirit tells her that it doesn't matter because she has his dong. And if she wants him to get it back, she's gonna have to come to the tunnel that she sent him to in order to retrieve it. Whole time, bro is tweaking and twitching on the ground, hitting a 2D full sprint while laying in the rubble. We see the spaceship fly around more and more before crash landing, and the two MCs get out and take a moment to breathe. The girl knows she has to channel her chi energy through him to prevent the takeover, but they also need to go to her house to get her clothes before they go retrieve his dong. He offers his to her temporarily because it was his fault that she got put in the position, and she simply tells him to shut up and ask for help. He reluctantly does and still insists on her wearing his clothes even afterwards so he wouldn't feel weird, which I can respect. He then says a line that she remembered from her crush Ren Takakura, and finally she asks him his name, and the answer blew her mind.
I'm Ken Takakura.
As we conclude this video, I hope you guys enjoyed it to the maximum. This is the longest one that I have ever scripted, created, done anything with. So go ahead and smash that like button, subscribe and turn on post notifications. Drop your true thoughts about this episode, this video below, and tell me if you want me to keep doing Dandadan reviews alongside JJK, and share it with somebody that you know would love to watch the video. And with that being said, it's your boy Cole-sama, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Arigatou gozaimasu.